You might say I'm out of my gourd over squashes. About time we do a show on the squashes and especially the pumpkins. This guy's certainly out of his gourd. These people who are passionate about growing these super large pumpkins. Well, we've got a lot of things to show you. We're gonna also do well. Look at all these. Look at all these dried squashes. Here's the traditional drinking gourd, a big dipper. We're going to get into that. In Argentina, they drink their tea, yerba mate, out of these gourds, and they sip it with these straws. Here's a little squash blossom, little squash blossom silver piece of jewelry. And we're going to get into all the different uses for gourds, including musical instruments. Now let's look at a little bit of the squash history here. Because I'm bringing them in here, I love this this image here. Of course, pumpkin pie. What could be better than a good piece of pumpkin pie? Look at all these different. So there's winter squashes, and there's summer ones. Winter ones apparently are more nutritious and have more food value. Of course, there's always lots of zucchini bread. That's a cliche, isn't it? People grow too much and have to get rid of it. So they originated in North America, going back maybe 7,000 years. Smaller, harder, and bitter, but the indigenous cultures continue to improve them. Yeah, 10,000 years ago almost. Lots of different uses. The Three Sisters method of companion planting is still very popular. So you put the corn plant, and then you put the beans, and the beans grow up, have support from the corn stalk, and then the gourds spread out over the ground, and they provide nice cover or keep the soil moist and all that. So the pumpkin comes from the Greek word, large melon, passes through the French, finally pumpkin in American colonies. And it was very important to the native people and the New Englanders. This is a wonderful painting of squashes. This is 1657. So there's the information about the summer and the winter squashes. I'm trying to hold this steady here. Wow. And then the jack-o'-lantern history. Look at that. Look at all those. Jack-o'-lantern history. Irish folktale about stingy Jack, a man cursed to roam the earth with only a burning coal inside a hollowed-out turnip to light his way. Traditionally, Irish Scottish people carve grotesque faces into turnips, beets, or potatoes on Samhain, now known as Halloween, to ward off Jack and other evil spirits. Originally a simple, durable winter food, the pumpkin evolved into a symbol of natural innocence and abundance in the late 19th century. Look at this. Here they're lighting this, ward off evil spirits. That's wonderful. The pumpkin effigy, 1867. Look at this. Pumpkin patches are really popular tourist attractions, and they're very good for small farm economies. This is a really big pumpkin face. Yeah, look at these. This is wonderful. This is a different squashes, and then carved, and then you can see the effect at night when they're all lighted up. That was something out of Alaska. I love that. And then greeting cards, postcards. In the old days, you wished people a Merry Halloween. Here's some other Halloween greetings. These are all from the early 20th century. And then Thanksgiving also has pumpkins as an image. and you were wishing people a happy Thanksgiving or hearty Thanksgiving greetings. Oh yeah, and squash and pumpkin dishes and foods around the world. This is a long thing from Wikipedia. Look at all of these dishes using squashes from around the world. Some of these are just absolutely delicious. Roasted zucchini parmesan, sauteed garlic herb squash. Oh, stuffed acorn squash. Yeah, that's something we're very popular. Baked feta spaghetti squash. Yeah, and caramelized kabocha squash. Here's some more. Different around the world. Yeah, look at this Russian woman very proud of her, bringing in, because there's the classic, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, beloved 1966 animated television special. And was Linus expecting that the Great Pumpkin Patch will appear in his, the Great Pumpkin will appear in his patch because it's the most sincere one. Look at this. People in the Midwest, loved developing photos of exaggerated fruit and vegetables to send back to people in the East and tell them how fruitful the new area where they're living is. I love this little guy with his pumpkin. So lots of pumpkin festivals around the world. This one is, these are a list of ones in U.S., Ohio, and California, Illinois, Maine. The world's largest pumpkin festival is apparently in Ludwigsburg, Germany, and they just go all out on this. And look at this big calabash that they've carved out and made into like a kayak. So you can do that with big calabashes. Here's pumpkin wine or pumpkin prosecco. And then there's pumpkin chunkin'. This developed out of Delaware. And they use all sorts of things: slingshots, catapults, centrifuges, pneumatic air cannons, and these world championships. But these things are held all over the place. Here's a list of them. You can see that. You can check that out on the internet. All these places that have pumpkin chunkin'. Like half the states in the U.S. do this thing. Yeah, you can be out of your gourd, out of your mind or head, feeling crazy in the morning. These guys are definitely not out of their gourds. These are Papua New Guinea guys and a couple of tribes up there who have this fashion statement of wearing gourds. This type of gourd that they grow, and then they're ornamental, and they're also a symbol of different tribes, whether they turn up, turn down, or whatever. Just wonder what kind of inside protects them. And then in Maasai in Kenya and West Africa, they use a calabash gourd like this, heavily decorated, very ceremonial, to catch a small amount of blood that they get out of their cows, mixed with milk, and you can see the different uses. It doesn't harm the cow, and they quickly close up the incision. Very much a tradition of the Maasai people. And then, you got to squash some bad thoughts. That's a term I guess psychologists use. You got to squash these thoughts that you're not good enough, you're this and that. Here's George Squashington. It's fun. And then, of course, what would Thanksgiving be without pumpkin pie? And just indispensable, nostalgic, reliable centerpiece of holiday baking, a symbol of gratitude and tradition. And here's a pumpkin head about to eat a pumpkin pie. I love that. All right, so let's see. We're going to pause this for a moment. So yeah, speaking of Halloween, there's so much material that celebrates this holiday and is connected completely with the jack-o'-lantern. And you can see this fella. That's a cute little guy. He does the dancing. Look at this. I'm not sure what that legend is. It might be the guy who kept his wife in a pumpkin. I can't remember. Here's the best wishes. This is a wonderful card from Peru, Gourd, with all sorts of scenes of life there. Yeah, this top comes off. I'll try that. How about that? Isn't that a beauty? Here's Fun the Adventures of Susie Squash. There's an easy carving tool for kids. Squash blossom. You can get pumpkin ale. Here's some more. Yeah, a symbol of the pilgrims with this is fun. This woman in Africa's got her calabash she's bringing in. Hot air balloon. This guy's crazy. This is. Oh, he goes nuts. Enough of you. Okay, enough. Whoa. So look at all these different pumpkins and squashes. This is a wonderful seed catalog featuring them all. Look at the colors. Look at the way some of these are tree gourds. Here's some of our collection here. Yeah, the drinking gourd. That was the Big Dipper. That helped as a device for enslaved people to have drinks during the day while they were working, but they also used this as the Big Dipper. It's a constellation, and it pointed towards the North Star, and they followed it on the Underground Railroad. Lots of books and stories about that. Of course, gourds with the seeds in them are good rattles. This is a Native American one that they use during the ceremonies. It symbols the sound of rain. Here's the rain cloud and the rain. This is one from Pueblo people, Mexico. We have. I'm going to show you some other. Here's a little hand. I don't know what these are called. Little hand marimbas. Gourd. That little guy. And the sitar has two gourds, a big one for the bass, and then for the louder, higher notes, and then the smaller one, these called tumbas, for the lower notes. Of course, marimbas, very popular. Some pictures of some other uses for the. Here's that dipper, the water dipper. Here they're using it to hold fish. Balanced on his head. This is the Japanese water or wine gourd. They would store water or wine in it, carry it. Here's a blowgun dart used in Ecuador, and the gourd is attached to the blowgun, and it holds the cotton, which is used in the process of getting the dart ready to shoot. These are snake charmer horns from Pakistan. calabash drums. We're going to hear somebody playing that in a minute. And then these are the scrapers. That's a wonderful sound. And here's a rattle and a scraper and a little one-stringed instrument made from a gourd. Here's that mate holding the gourd, holding the mate tea. We were showing you these earlier. And I sip the tea out of this silver straw. A mask. Or is that Hawaii? Yeah. Pretty scary, huh? In Haiti for a while, the money was the Gourdis. The story about that. And here's the xylophone or marimba. We're going to hear that in just a second. That's a nice sound.
This is a calabash. You're most likely to hear this instrument in the music of Mali and Niger along the western border of the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, I'll leave you with this sweet sound of the Indian sitar. You can see the gourd is the higher, checks the higher notes, and this gourd up here is the low notes. These are this wonderful instrument that plays the Indian ragas, which is a type of music. Lovely. So that's it for now. Thanks for joining us, joining me for this look into squashes, gourds, the pumpkins of the world. If you like these shows, you can subscribe. It's free. You can tell your friends. You can send us messages. We're always happy to respond. And I look forward to sharing more of the food museum collection that we have. All of this, by the way, we hope to donate all of these things that we have in our collections in our library to a worthy institution, which will carry on the mission of helping people understand the world's foods by the way we do it. So we'll see you again next time. Thanks for joining me, and enjoy your squashes.